My name is Tom, and I'm a 35-year-old man with a happy life now. But my past was filled with drama, and I want to share that story. I have a brilliant younger brother named Nick, who was exceptionally smart, always getting perfect scores in elementary school without studying. Our parents had high hopes that he would get into one of the prestigious private middle schools in the state. On the other hand, no matter how hard I studied, I always scored below average and couldn't improve my grades, especially in math where I consistently scored around 50. People often compared us harshly. They would say, "Oh, Nick is so smart. Why is your brother so dumb? If he scores like this in elementary math, he'll be hopeless by middle school." It was painful to hear, especially since I was trying my best. I remember being proud of scoring 70 in social studies, but my mother dismissed it, saying, "How can you say you did well with scores like this? Stop being stupid. If you were trying, you'd definitely get a perfect score. Maybe you should take a lesson from Nick." My brother mocked me too, saying, "Ha, you're getting scolded. You're really dumb, bro. Even I can solve these problems. Are you really in 6th grade? Maybe you should start over from 1st grade." My mother was always angry when she saw my test results. I dreaded showing her my papers, but if I didn't, she'd get furious. I resented Nick for his constant mocking and the way our parents spoiled him. He didn't respect me at all and only thought about making fun of me. To me, he wasn't cute at all, and I wished he would disappear. It often felt like I was the one who wasn't needed in our house. Both my mom and dad would say things like it would be better if I wasn't around, which deeply hurt me as a child. When I went to middle school, the studies were hard, but I made some good friends, which brought me some contentment. I particularly grew close to a classmate named Jake. His family lived modestly, and his mom loved him dearly. I envied the warmth in their home. Jake's mom always offered me snacks when I visited, and she treated everyone equally with a smile. This was very different from my parents, who ran a business with my dad as the president and my mom handling the office work. Despite being the son of a president, I never felt loved. Although we were well off, I felt they spent more money on my brother. For instance, during field trips, when the school allowed us to buy snacks up to $3, I received $1. But my brother got $10. He enjoyed being the king, handing out snacks to everyone in class. I realized early on that money isn't everything when it comes to happiness. During the summer vacation of my 3rd year in middle school, I wanted to improve my weak subjects, math and science, by attending a summer course at a tutoring center. I asked my mom for help. "Mom, I need a favor. There's a summer course at the tutoring center by the station. They said you don't have to be a regular student to attend. If you take 5 subjects, you get a discount." "What? A summer course? We don't have money for that. Spending money on you is a waste when we could spend it on Nick," she replied. "Please let me go. I'll study hard." "You're going to drop out of school and work, so you don't need to study. Congratulations, now you're free from your weak subjects." "Wait, what do you mean?" "It means you're going to drop out of school and work for our company. Don't you get it? Spending time and money on high school for you is a waste. Instead, you should work hard." "No, I want to go to high school too." "Hey bro, don't be so selfish. You're making mom upset. You're not that smart anyway, so middle school is good enough for you. You're just a failure, so you should work for us," Nick chimed in. "Nick, you," I was furious and slammed the living room door, retreating to my room. Devastated by what mom said and humiliated by my brother, I couldn't even decide my own future. Tears flowed as I felt growing hatred toward my brother and mistrust toward my parents. In the winter of my 3rd year in middle school, while everyone was studying hard for high school entrance exams, I knew it was too late for me. I just stared blankly at the clouds. "Hey, I heard you're going to drop out and work," a classmate said. "Yeah, my parents want me to join their company." "Well, your dad is the president." "Yeah, but they told me I wasn't worth sending to high school, that it would be a waste of money." "That's tough. I thought about working right away to help my mom. She pushed herself too hard and got sick." "Is your mom okay?" "The doctor told her not to strain herself. Her heart isn't good." "That's terrible, Tom. Don't look so sad. Let's show them what we can do. Some people look down on us for dropping out, so let's prove them wrong. Let's work hard and believe that we'll be rewarded someday." "You're right. Sorry, I shouldn't act like I'm the only one with problems. Everyone has their own struggles. I know it's tough for you too, but don't give up no matter what." "Yeah, I'll keep fighting. You too, Jake. Even though Jake was in a tough situation, he always encouraged me to keep going. He'd encouraged me, and I felt grateful. I had always felt like I was the only one suffering, and it made me a bit ashamed. Determined not to be outdone by Jake, I decided to work harder and stay positive. Maybe someday good things would come my way too. Even though my parents still treated me coldly and spoiled my brother, I decided to ignore it. When I stopped reacting to my brother's annoying comments, he eventually stopped bothering me. He probably thought it was no fun if I didn't respond. In April, I started working at my parents' company as a new middle school graduate. My dad was harsh, treating me like a rag and giving me all the tough tasks. He dumped all the work that other employees used to do on me. When I asked him questions, he'd just yell, "You still don't get it. How many times do I have to teach you, you idiot? No excuses. This is why you're useless. Just finish the job and get back to work." Years passed and I turned 30. Nick graduated from a prestigious private middle and high school and went to a good university, but he didn't look for a job and just stayed home. To me, he was just an unemployed college graduate. "I'm studying to make money with stocks, so I don't need to work," he would say. But hey, there's no guarantee it'll work, right? Nah, with my brains, it'll be a piece of cake. Just stay quiet, bro. My brother continued to laze around at home even after graduating from college, but my parents didn't scold him. They just said, "He'll make it big someday," sounding carefree. I doubted that would ever happen, but saying anything to them was useless, so I decided not to warn my parents. One morning, while I was working at the company, I suddenly heard a crash. Turning to see where the sound came from, I saw my dad had collapsed. "Dad, dear, help. Call an ambulance." We called an ambulance immediately, but my dad passed away shortly after arriving at the hospital. It was a heart attack. Dad had been overweight and had been told he had poor heart health, but he continued his unhealthy habits, which probably led to the massive heart attack that killed him. Mom cried loudly, and my brother, who rushed over, turned pale. But strangely, I didn't feel sad. I felt relieved that one thing that tied me down was gone. Maybe I'm an ungrateful person, but only someone raised by toxic parents would understand. Even during the funeral, I didn't feel sad at all. Because of that, my mom berated me, calling me the worst son. After a week, Mom called me and my brother. "Sit down, I need to talk to you." "Okay," I replied. "All right," Nick added. "With your father gone, we need to think about the company. Nick, you'll take over the company. Your useless brother is fired as of today." "What?" I exclaimed. "Got it. Nick will leave the company from now on," my brother responded. "But I want to keep studying stocks. I'm begging you, only you can be the president." "I can't refuse if you ask like that, Mom. But can I study stocks when I have free time?" "Of course." "Wait a minute. I've dedicated myself to this company and now you're firing me and making Nick the new president? That's unfair." "What? Did you think you could be the president? You only have a middle school education. There's no way you can be the president. Don't make me laugh." "A middle school education. But you and Dad were the ones who made me give up high school. It's unfair to mock me for that." "How dare you talk to me like that? I gave birth to you. How can you say such things to me?" "But enough. You're leaving this house. We don't need you." I was in shock from everything she said. I had worked tirelessly for the company like a worker ant, and this was how I was treated. I couldn't stand her saying she gave birth to me. Even at my age, I didn't want to think like a child. But I thought it was wrong for parents to say, "I gave birth to you," or "I raised you." Having children is a form of self-satisfaction, so I didn't like the condescending, "I did this for you" attitude. If I ever have kids, I wouldn't want to say things like that to them. After being told so much by my mom, I decided I would leave the house. I went back to my room, packed my things, and decided to take only the essentials. I had nowhere specific to go, but I figured I could stay at a business hotel while looking for an apartment. Leaving the house, I checked into a nearby business hotel. The space without my mom and brother felt peaceful. There was no one to bother me or say mean things. As I lounged in my room, I thought about my classmate Jake. I wondered how he was doing. I hadn't been in touch for a long time, so I gave him a call. "Hey Jake, how's it going over there?" "Well, the factory I was working at just shut down." "What?" "Actually, my dad passed away, and I got kicked out of the company afterward." "Wait, your dad died?" Yeah, but strangely, I didn't feel sad. Does that make me a bad son? Well, you said your parents always disliked you and treated you unfairly. Maybe it's understandable. So what did you do after getting kicked out? My mom said she was giving the company to my brother and fired me. Then she kicked me out of the house too. But I guess it's time I left anyway. I see. Hey, why don't we start something together? Huh? Let's build something from scratch, our own company. But can we really do that? Yeah, let's do it. So I called Jake to a cafe. We talked about many things there. Jake said that if our company made a big profit, it would really help him out. His mom still wasn't in good health, so he needed to work to support her. Fortunately, I had a decent amount of money saved, so we made plans. First, we secured a place to live. We consulted a lawyer Jake knew and got everything in order. We worked quickly, and soon our company was established. Our company was right across the street from my family's company with a big flashy sign. My mom and brother were shocked to see me entering and exiting the building. Are you the one renting this place? Yeah, that's right. But isn't the rent here really high? We have raised enough funds so we can afford it. How did you get the money? From YouTube. I posted stories about toxic parents and they got a lot of views. Wait, are you talking about me? Maybe. This huge sign and this place were featured in an interview before the industry. Yeah, it's a comics publishing company. I knew it. I'm not good at writing or drawing, but I'm confident in coming up with ideas. I always loved comics as a kid and wanted to be a comics artist, but my drawing skills were terrible. Then I thought about becoming a novelist, but I didn't have a knack for writing either. No matter how hard I tried, my writing was at an elementary school level, but I was good at coming up with ideas. I was always the one coming up with ideas for drama class. I wanted to pursue a creative career and go to an art school, but I had to drop out of middle school and gave up. But I realized that an academic background doesn't matter. My favorite YouTuber, who does illustrations, also dropped out of middle school, so I knew it was possible even without a diploma. However, I didn't want to become a YouTuber myself, so I posted scandalous content just to raise funds, and it got some traction. There were troll comments and condescending remarks, but I thought they must have a lot of free time. Thanks for watching. I kept posting. With the funds I earned, I started a comics publishing company. Even though my company was a comics publisher, it was different from boys' or girls' comics. We specialized in what are called ladies' comics, which are popular among housewives. Usually, women would come up with the stories or the writers would create them from scratch. But most of our works were based on my ideas. When it got out that a man was coming up with these dramatic, female-oriented storylines, it attracted media attention. Although I didn't show my face, the company quickly became famous. Our debut hit, abandoned by toxic parents, Jessica's Revenge was a huge success. The story began with the protagonist Jessica working after dropping out of middle school and being exploited by her parents. It resonated deeply with readers. You're the president of this company, so you were behind those weird comics? My brother Nick asked. Yeah, they're my passionate creations. You jerk, you made me the evil sister character. I never said the character was based on you. It's not defamation or slander. Don't play dumb. Anyone who sees it can tell it's me. I didn't make it that obvious, so no one knows it's you. Besides, shouldn't you be the one worrying about being sued for defamation and slander? What do you mean? Thanks for leaving those hateful comments on my YouTube channel with your real name. I've already filed a disclosure request. Wait, please. I'm glad I have a lawyer friend thanks to Jake. Friends are invaluable. No way. What will happen to me? I don't know. You'll probably be held accountable. That's all I know. My brother didn't know it was my channel and would smugly leave comments using offensive language and saying things like, "The uploader is an idiot." I was going to ignore it, but I decided to teach him a lesson and file the disclosure request. People who think they can do whatever they want in an anonymous world are in the wrong. My brother turned pale and started trembling. I thought he might even wet himself, and I couldn't help but smile. Well, I have a meeting with a comics artist, so I'll get going. Wait. See you. I have to go make even more money. I'm so busy. I ignored my mother and went into the office. Jake and I had a meeting with a comics artist. She was a new artist but was great at drawing dramatic scenes, so I suggested the idea for her next project. Tom, you're really good at coming up with ideas. I struggle with that, so I look up to you. But I can't draw or write well, so I rely on the comics artists. Even the YouTube content was outsourced to writers. That channel really got a lot of attention. People love dramatic stories, huh? Yeah, it shows how stressed people are these days. Those who love dramatic stories might be dealing with stress in their personal lives. It's our job to help them release that stress. Modern life is definitely stressful. Jake, you've been a big help. You're great at catching details and spotting typos quickly. Well, I did work at a printing factory. I'm a big picture person, so I'm not good with details. That's why I'm not great at spotting typos. But Jake makes up for that. Since Jake used to work at a printing factory, he's really good at finding typos and mistakes. So far, we haven't had any misprints. If we did, it would have been a disservice to our readers. Our publishing house is still small, so to build trust, we need to accumulate a track record steadily. That's why we put a lot of care into our work, making sure there are no mistakes in our comics. Since then, my brother had to face the consequences. He was fined for both defamation and slander. The amount wasn't significant, but my brother couldn't pay and begged for forgiveness on his knees. That idiot lost a lot of money in failed stock investments. I had no intention of forgiving him, so I told him if begging worked, we wouldn't need the police or lawyers. Eventually, our family company went bankrupt. It was because my brother used the company's funds for his stock investments. If he hadn't done such stupid things, this wouldn't have happened. But I had no obligation to help him anymore. I decided to live as if I had no family. But at 33, I had a significant encounter. I was looking for new comics artists, and a 28-year-old woman came to us. She had sent her work to various publishers, but hadn't received any responses. She had felt uneasy about creating dramatic ladies' comics, but after reading our works, she wanted to give it a try. Our works weren't just about revenge. The key point was that the protagonist ended up happy. It was essentially a Cinderella story, and these types of comics were becoming popular. I didn't watch much drama, but I heard that Korean dramas often followed this pattern. Korean cosmetics, idols, and dramas were trending among women in their 20s. So I started studying Korean dramas. They turned out to be quite useful, and I came up with the idea for the ugly duckling who became a princess after plastic surgery ***. Since Korean cosmetic surgery and makeup are famous, having the protagonist transform in Korea worked well. Yeah, I thought it would be interesting if everyone treated her differently when she returned to the States. I want a scene where everyone turns to look at her, I explained to Emily, the artist. I see she becomes so beautiful that people do a double take. At the beginning, she should be portrayed as terribly ugly to the point of being pitiable. But her personality is kind and good-hearted, Emily suggested. Understood. The bullies should be average-looking, not ugly, but not particularly pretty either. Oh, and the protagonist should also have liposuction, I added. Oh, I know people who went to Korea for liposuction too. Then she could become fabulously fit. She could become a legendary hostess and earn a lot of money. Then her mean former classmates could come in as customers. That sounds great, but she doesn't reveal her identity as they hit on her without realizing who she is. How about that? That's a great idea, Jake. It's really interesting, Emily said. Thanks. Do you think we could add some mature scenes? This is aimed at women in their 30s. Sure, something for working women who are tired from their jobs. Exactly, women who feel frustrated, and by reading the conclusion, feel inspired to keep going. Not just revenge, but the protagonist achieving happiness on her own. Got it. I'll give it a try, Emily agreed. Emily was excited and created the ugly duckling who became a princess after plastic surgery ***. The kind but extremely unattractive protagonist, Sarah, is a bullied girl. Not only is she ugly, but she's also chubby, so she's constantly mocked by her classmates in high school. She is despised by the boys, and when she confesses her love to a boy by writing a letter, he throws it away. Devastated, Sarah works hard and travels to Korea alone. There, she undergoes full-body plastic surgery. She gets liposuction, changes her nose, eyes, and jaw, and transforms into a stunning beauty. Upon her return to the States, she is so beautiful that people do a double take at the airport. Sarah leverages her beauty to become the top hostess. In no time, she has interactions with her former classmates and eventually meets her true love. The comic became a bestseller, and our small publishing company grew significantly. Eventually, the comic was adapted into a TV drama with a famous actress playing Sarah. They used special effects to depict her ugly face and her beautiful hostess face. I treated Emily to a meal to thank her for her hard work. Emily enjoyed spending time with me, and I was glad that I asked her out. We began to go on more dates and got to know each other better. The more I got to know Emily, the more I wanted to confess my feelings to her. However, I was a high school dropout. Emily had graduated from an art university, and I thought she wouldn't be interested in someone like me. But I decided to take the plunge and confess. Jake encouraged me, saying, "If you like her, you should go for it," which gave me the courage. "Emily, there's something I want to tell you." "What is it?" she asked. I want you to seriously consider our future together." "Are you saying that you were thinking about marriage?" "Yes, I'm a middle school dropout without much education, but I want to be with you from now on. I can't lie to myself anymore. Emily, I would love to marry you in the future, so please date me seriously." "Thank you. I've been wanting the same thing." "What?" "I've been happy to be more than just work partners with you," Emily replied. Emily gladly accepted my proposal. I felt relieved that I had expressed my feelings. Emily didn't mind that I was a middle school dropout and said that everyone has their own path in life. I was thrilled and grateful that Emily was my girlfriend. Then we had our wedding. I was 34 at the time. My parents and brother didn't come to the wedding, but Jake, my business partner and good friend, celebrated with us, and so did our employees. Most importantly, I was happy to be accepted by Emily's parents. Even after marrying me, Emily continued to work hard as a comics artist. Though she struggled with coming up with ideas, her artwork was excellent. She drew captivating images, and I thought she had immense talent. Many works were created with my story ideas and Emily's drawings. Jake also managed other artists and nurtured many of them. Our company grew steadily and became well known in the ladies' comics market. Just before my 35th birthday, Emily seemed unwell. I thought it might have been something she ate. But then she said, "Actually, I've been told I'm expecting." "What? We're having a baby. You're going to be a father." "Me? A father?" "Yes, you're going to be a dad." "I'm so happy. That's amazing," I said, overwhelmed with emotion. I lifted Emily up and put my ear to her stomach. I couldn't hear anything yet, but I imagined the baby growing and moving inside her. I was excited to meet our child and looked forward to it every day. When I was 35, Emily went into labor. Emily gave her all and delivered a healthy baby boy. I couldn't believe such a beautiful little being existed, and I held him with tears streaming down my face. From now on, my life wasn't just my own anymore. I had to live my best for my wife, Emily, and our son. No matter what hardships came our way, I knew I could endure them for their sake. This was my determination as a man and my pride as a father. Even though I grew up with toxic parents, I worried whether I could truly show love to my child. But I think I'm doing okay. Taking care of a child is definitely challenging, but watching him grow each day fills me with love. I never understood why my parents treated my brother and me so differently. Sure, my brother was smarter and more charming, and they probably found him more likable. But even if we have another child, I know I could never abandon one over the other, even if one seemed less capable. I'll use my parents as an example of what not to do and strive to be the best parent I can be. Since we both work, Emily and I plan to support each other in raising our child. Jake also found a girlfriend, and are planning to get married soon. I hope for a world where those who endure hardships are eventually rewarded.